So the age of Hollywood is over. And I think that this has been obvious for a long time. I've done a couple videos talking about this. Notably, I did one about a few weeks ago talking about how movie theaters are kind of on their way out. Ticket sales, it's really odd. You know, over the past year, we've had some really big movies. Endgame, Rise of Skywalker. Rise of Skywalker is not a good movie. Nonetheless, it still made a lot of money. And those weren't the only two. There were tons of movies this year that made tons of money. But the really funny thing about that is it wasn't enough. You have movie theaters that need movies, throughout the year to sustain, and they're just not there anymore. People aren't going. People don't care. And, I think that says a lot. People also don't care about celebrities anymore. How many movies, look at Dr. Dolittle with Robert Downey Jr. Okay, that came out, I think, around the beginning of January. It was a spectacular failure. I think it was the first flop of the year. And that's a Robert Downey Jr. movie. This is Iron Man, okay? It just shows you that people really don't care about Robert Downey Jr. You know who they care about? They care about Iron Man. They like him playing as Iron Man, but I think they could have replaced him. And kept going, but they decided to end his arc, and that's fine. But my point is, nobody cares about Robert Downey Jr. They care about the character. That's it. And I think that says a lot because, it used to be different. It used to be that celebrities had a lot of power and a lot of sway, and they really held public influence. But that's changed. They're nothing anymore. No one cares about celebrities. And, they did it to themselves, more so recently than anything, but they've really kind of just ran things into the ground. The quality of movies, the quality of entertainment, it's all went downhill. And I don't know how much longer Hollywood can really go on as is, but, that's a different subject. So I found this article. The age of celebrity is dead. The internet has killed the Hollywood star. And that's such a great title because it's true. YouTube, Twitch, social media in general has taken over. This is what people want to see now. People want to see people they can relate to. And YouTube, for some reason, where all this kind of started, has decided they're going to pretty much push real people back and make Jimmy Kimmel and all of these other people the big stars on the site. Like, I found some really good channels. Like, I'm really into cars and stuff, so I actually found some really interesting YouTube content. These people that all get together and do drag races, and they all have their own channels. And I really like watching them. But, I've noticed their views have been going down. But whose views are going up? Channels like Jay Leno's Garage, And I got to be honest, I actually like Jay Leno's Garage. I think if I was super rich, I would spend my money like Jay Leno. I would have a huge garage full of like awesome motorcycles and cars. But I'm just saying, like, his stuff I notice gets recommended after I watch a lot of these drag race channels. And it's like, why aren't more of the drag racing stuff? Why isn't that getting recommended over this Jay Leno stuff? And it's because they're pushing, his channel over this because, well, he's mainstream media. YouTube is trying to revive these people. I don't know why. You would think that they would not want to have Hollywood, controlling what they do, but it is what it is. It's their platform. At the end of the day, they can do what they want. But anyway, let's get into this article here. I think they make some really interesting points in it, and I want to go over it. So, come friendly bombs and fall on Hollywood. Isn't it fit for doing good? Another year, another dreadful Oscars, another round of moral lectures from the beautiful people. It's all so tiresome. The only reason most people pay attention to these irritating awards ceremonies is precisely so that they can be irritated. Well, that's not totally true because the ratings were down by like 20%. I covered that in my Natalie Portman video yesterday, which I would highly recommend you watch. I think there was some very revealing stuff in there on just how much of a hypocrite she is because, well, you have to watch the video. But anyway, so, I like that point. Another round of moral lectures from the beautiful people, from these people in their ivory tower that want to try to tell us how we should live. We can't live like you because you guys have vast amounts of money and we don't. They have celebrity. We don't have that. Well, some of us, can get it. They make a really good point in this video where they say, even a person with 15 followers on Twitter is famous to 15 people. I thought that was a really good point, and we'll get to that. So there was a vegan theme at this year's Academy Awards. So the show had no host. So Brad Pitt is angry about impeachment. So someone said, workers of the world, unite. So Joaquin Phoenix is mad in all senses about what mankind is doing to the animal kingdom. Natalie Portman, in what she called My Subtle Way, had the names of the women's directors who weren't nominated for awards sewn into her dress, which is hypocritical. Spoilers, if you didn't see that video, and you should watch it, but in the video, I point out that she has her own production company. And you know how many female directors she's hired? One. Herself. She's hired herself to direct 2 movies. The rest were all men. But, she really cares about female directors. No, what she cares about is the fact that people were whining about directors and the fact that it was all dudes for the nominations. So to get a little bit of positive press, she decided to do that. And of course, because press are a bunch of shills, they didn't bother to point that out. Like 1 or 2 outlets I noticed covered it. That's it. The rest of them were like, you go, girl. You go. And I point that out because it's important, because every single one of them, except, even Joaquin Phoenix, but I think Joaquin Phoenix actually means what he says. He just comes off that way, but he still does really hypocritical things. One of the things he did was he went to Washington, D.C. for a climate kind of protest, and he flew a private jet there. It's like, okay, man. You're going to fly a private jet? I mean, come on, Joaquin. At least stand by your principles. But I don't want to give him too much credit. I still think he's a woke, fake person, just like the rest of them. I think he means a little bit better than they do, though, in some aspects, whatever that is. So anyway, so what? All of these people are ridiculous. Nothing they say makes any difference to anything, which is true. Actors are increasingly aware, thanks in part to Ricky Gervais's wonderful ribbing of them at Golden Globes, that nobody cares what they think, which is absolutely true. If anything, all they do is turn people off to them, and they're doing it at a fast pace, because all they've been doing is whining about the Orange Man and all that stuff since 2016. Nonstop. And there's no diversity of thought there, because if you happen to have a different opinion than them, they kick you out of the industry. If you need proof of that, you can look no further than Tim Allen, who had a show canceled. I forget the name of it. I believe they brought it back, but people like him don't get too much work because of the way they align politically. So anyway, at some unconscious level, these actors must know that they don't really know anything about politics or the real world. They can't admit this to themselves, of course, human nature being what it is, so they double down. They convince themselves that any angry reaction to their moralizing is an indication that they have dared to speak truth, how brave they are. And so the infuriating cycle continues. Actors end up almost trolling the public, and the public trolls them back on social media, and I love it. They end up blocking people. I'm blocked by a couple of celebrities now, actually. But what's funny is that's so true. Most of these people in Hollywood don't know crap about politics. And I don't pretend to be a super expert at it either. But these people think they know everything, and they think people listen to them, and they don't. I always said, the last person that I want to hear a political opinion from is some D-bag that spent most of their time in college learning how to sword fight on stage and practice fake fighting. Because I got to admit, if you studied drama or theater or something, Your political opinion is the last thing I care about because you don't have any idea what you're talking about. Okay, you spent the whole time running around playing pretend when you were in school. You didn't study anything. I don't care what your ideas or thoughts are. And that's what these people in Hollywood are. There's a few exceptions, people that had different careers and stumbled into it. That's fine. But the majority of them are a bunch of idiots. So I don't care what you have to say. And most people share my opinion. That's why Hollywood stock is way down and people don't care what these people have to say. So anyway, the Oscars have always been fundamentally silly. But 10 years ago, they were still a major event. Celebrities still lectured people in their annoying self-congratulatory way, but they had more cultural capital, which is true. They definitely did. 10 years ago, if you remember, things were a lot different. But I got to tell you, the stock for them was slightly going down, but not that drastically. 2016 changed a lot because as soon as the orange man stepped up, everybody lost their damn mind. And all of their cultural capital in Hollywood, all these celebrities that think that they matter, they've pretty much alienated so many people, no one just cares about anymore. It's really strange to think about how much things have changed in the past, I want to say 6 years. The past 4 have definitely been the most interesting, at least to me. But anyway, industry bores will tell you that the audience viewing figures were up last year. 29.6 million viewers, talking about the Oscars, by the way. And yes, ABC sold their precious advertising spots for lots of money, but on Sunday night, they only got 23.6 million. In 2000, the audience was 44.6 million and 41 million in 2010, so the pattern is one of decline. That's true. The only reason that I was watching the Oscars at all was, well, for one, to make videos on, and for two, I wanted to see Joker win a lot of awards. He only got 2, unfortunately, but I wanted to see more, mostly because I wanted to see the blue check marks go crazy. That was entertainment to me because it's funny to watch these people fall over themselves and be weird and blow head gaskets over a movie. I think it's really hilarious, and most people agree. They also find it quite hilarious. And these people, they think they're making changes, but they're not. So anyway, the internet has killed the Hollywood star. Fame has been disrupted. Andy Warhol got it slightly wrong when he said that in the future, everybody will be famous for 15 minutes. In fact, thanks to social media, everybody is famous to at least 15 people. Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook mean we don't have to ogle stars anymore. We are too busy doing it to ourselves. Yes, different types of celebrities have grown online. The influencers, the YouTubers, the streamers, and they too will try to use their position to grandstand. But the age of celebrity, of mass entertainers, mattering as anything other than entertainment is dying. It won't be missed. And I absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. I'm so glad that it's over. It's too bad. We used to have some decent times. I liked Arnold before he got political, But here's the thing. You know what? I think they were always like this. The difference is you only got them in pieces, celebrities, entertainers. You got them in pieces, right? You would only see them in magazines and TV interviews. But now with social media, Twitter, Facebook, all this stuff, videos online, you see them all the time. So they can't really hide their wacky weirdo-ness. So you see them talk all the time, and you really see what jackasses these people really are, and it turns people off to them. I think the internet and more exposure to who celebrities really are is what really hurt them. I think it hurt them a lot. And then now you have the chance, there's so many people on YouTube and Twitch and stuff. You can find people you like. There's so much variety. If you don't like me, there's probably 5 or 10 or 20 other people that do what I do that you can find that you like. There's so many options now. I don't need to hear Brad Pitt talk. I can go find somebody else. It's very nice. And these people are realizing it, and I think that's why they're getting so desperate. And what's really unfortunate about all of this is YouTube, instead of capitalizing all of this, what do? Where they're like, okay, well, let's just push Jimmy Kimmel. They don't get it. YouTube desperately needs some competition, let me tell you. They desperately need real competition. Hopefully maybe Amazon Prime will step that up. I think they could do it. They have the most revenue. Amazon's a huge company. I think they could actually give YouTube a run for their money. So we'll see what happens, but celebrities won't be missed. I'm eagerly awaiting the collapse of Hollywood, and I think it's coming. I think this year could be the tipping point. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, I really enjoyed this article and this topic, and I hope you did too. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Please leave them in the comments below. Also, throw a like up if you would. Share the video. That would be much appreciated. Those are very important things that you can do to help my channel and anybody else's, really. Also, make sure you still subscribe. Subscribe if you're new. Hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, take a moment. Make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. There's something going on right now, and they've been unsubscribing people. So just take a second and double check on that, and subscribe if you're new.